In the heart of Aiyetoro, a quiet Yoruba village, lived the family known for peace and dignity. The father, Adeyemi, was a respected palm wine tapper. His wife, Morenike, was gentle but strong. Together they had twin sons, Taiwo and Kehinde. From birth, the twins were inseparable. Taiwo, the first to cry, was lively and bold. Kehinde, the younger, was calm, observant and thoughtful. But destiny had already begun to whisper. One fateful morning, when the boys turned 16, Adeyemi made a decision. "We must go and see Baba Alaro," he told his wife. In Aiyetoro, Baba Alaro was no ordinary man. Some called him Messiah, others called him the father of mysteries. It was said he could look beyond the present and speak directly into the future. Morenike hesitated. Not every truth is meant to be heard, but Adeyemi insisted, "It is better we know, so we can guide them." So, under the scorching hot sun, the family walked to the edge of the village where Baba Alaro lived in a hut covered with ancient symbols and cowries. The air around the hut felt heavy. Inside, Baba Alaro sat cross-legged, his eyes closed, as if he had been expecting them. "You have come for the boys," he said. Adeyemi nodded. The old man threw his cowries onto a mat, murmuring incantations. Silence fell. Even the wind seemed to pause. Then he spoke slowly. These twins walked different paths. One, Baba Alaro pointed toward Taiwo, will rise beyond imagination. Wealth will follow him. Honor will bow before him. The elders of Aiyetoro will crown him king. Taiwo's chest swelled with pride. But the other will struggle. He will wander. He will beg. His name will carry no weight in this land. Silent, heavy, crushing, silent. The twins looked at each other, but for the first time, something invisible stood between them. That day, neither of the boys were at peace. Taiwo smiled to himself. "I am chosen. I don't need to struggle. My future is already written." Kehinde, on the other hand, stared at the ceiling, his heart racing. A beggar. No, no, that cannot be my story. By morning, two decisions had been made quietly and firmly. Taiwo would wait for destiny. Kehinde would fight it. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. Taiwo changed. He stopped helping his father in the palm wine field. When his mother asked him to fetch water, he laughed. "I don't stress myself. Soon, I will be king." He began to spend his days under the great Iroko tree, surrounded by friends who hung onto his every word. "I will remember all of you when I sit on the throne," he would say proudly. And so they served him, bringing him food, palm wine, even washing his clothes, hoping for a favor in the future. Taiwo did nothing, and he felt no shame. On the other hand, Kehinde became a different person. He woke before dawn. He walked with his father. He learned trades, carving, farming, even basic trading in nearby markets. But it wasn't enough. One evening, he stood before his parents. "I am leaving Aiyetoro," he said. Morenike's eyes filled with tears. "The world outside is not kind." Kehinde nodded and said, "Neither is the future that was spoken over me." So his parents blessed him and said, "Go and write your own story." Kehinde arrived in the city with nothing but determination. The city was loud, unforgiving. He slept in cramped spaces, took the hardest jobs. He carried loads, cleaned shops. He worked long hours under harsh conditions. There were days he went hungry. There were days he wanted to give up. But every time he remembered Baba Alaro's words, something burned inside him. "I refuse," he would say. Years passed. Slowly, things began to change. He learned businesses. He saved money, took risks. He failed, and yet he tried again. And one day, it worked. but it worked again. Kehinde rose from nothing to something, from something to success. Back in Aiyetoro, Taiwo's story was unfolding very differently. His friends, who once served him, began to drift away. "Where is your kingship?" they mocked. The elders never called his name. Years passed, and nothing happened. Frustration turned to anger. Anger turned into shame, and shame found comfort in palm wine. Taiwo became known as the village drunk. Every day, he sat under the same iroko tree, bottle in hand, laughing loudly. He would shout, "Laugh now. When I rise, you will all suffer." The villagers laughed. Children pointed. He became a story, a warning. But Taiwo never stopped believing. Or perhaps he was too afraid to stop. One bright morning, years later, Aiyetoro buzzed with excitement. The convoy of cars approached the village. No one had seen anything like it. From one of the cars stepped a man in fine clothes, his posture confident, his eyes calm. Kehinde had returned, but he was no longer the boy who left. He came with his wife and his success, and more importantly, his heart. He built schools, he built a clinic, he repaired roads, he brought water into the village. The elders watched closely. "This is a man who thinks beyond himself," one of them said. "This is a leader." Not long after, the elders gathered. Aiyetoro needed a king, and they had made their choice. Kehinde, the boy who was meant to beg, would now rule. On the day of his coronation, the entire village gathered. Drums echoed, voices sang. As Kehinde was crowned king, his eyes scanned the crowd, and there among the crowd, he saw his brother, Taiwo, unkept, broken, watching. After the ceremony, Kehinde walked toward Taiwo. The crowd fell silent. Taiwo laughed bitterly. "So, the beggar became king." Kehinde looked at him, not with pride, but with sadness. "No," he said softly. "The man who refused to accept defeat became king." Taiwo said nothing. For the first time in years, he had no words. And some say, even after that day, Taiwo still sat under the iroko tree, waiting, believing, hoping that one day destiny would remember him. But the question remains, did destiny fail him? Or did he fail himself?